I'm diving into a moment that looks simple on the surface but hums with undercurrents once you lift the curtain. Amy Madigan just won Best Supporting Actress for Weapons at the 98th Academy Awards, and I want to unpack what that win actually represents, beyond the applause and headlines. First, let's set the stage. Madigan's win isn't just a victory in a single category, it's a narrative about longevity, debate, and how the Academy measures impact. She beat a formidable lineup: Elle Fanning, Wunmi Mosaku, Teyana Taylor, names that carried their own strong campaigns and fanfare. What makes this notable isn't only the trophy, but the record it tacks onto her career, the longest gap between nominations in the same category, jumping from 1986 to now, 40 years apart. In my opinion, that gap reframes how we think about deserved recognition. If the industry's clock runs slow, does waiting longer make the achievement richer, or does it simply reflect a different era's taste shifting under our feet? What I find especially fascinating is how this one lands in the context of Weapons, a supernatural horror movie that became a meme machine, Aunt Gladys with the big glasses and heavy makeup. The performance isn't a conventional Oscar darling, but the film's cultural footprint, memes, opening skits, and internet talking points, gives the win a different kind of resonance. It challenges the assumption that Oscar success must ride a wave of prestige, and instead demonstrates how genre films can cross into broader cultural conversation. What this suggests is a widening appetite within the industry to honor performances that become iconic in popular culture, not just critically acclaimed prestige. Personally, I think the timing matters. Madigan's season included Golden Globes and Bafta nominations, with the Oscar coming after a strong press run where she was largely the lone representative for Weapons on the circuit. That dynamic, being the sole face of a film in the press, creates a narrative pressure that can flip perception. The more you see someone tied to a single project, the more the public may connect with their journey, not just the character they played. From my perspective, this amplifies the personal story behind the win, a decade-spanning career, paired with a contemporary moment where a smaller indie or genre piece can still leap into Oscar territory if the storytelling and performance land at the right cultural moment. One thing that immediately stands out is Madigan's reaction in her speech. She leaned into humor and warmth, even joking about how the little gold guy differs from prior recognition. That moment, balancing emotion with lightness, feels like a deliberate choice to humanize a long road to the stage. It's a reminder that the Oscars aren't just about the trophy, they're a stage for personal storytelling, reconciliation, and letting the audience witness a long-haul career culminate in this moment. If you take a step back and think about it, the speech becomes a meta-narrative about how actors age in public life, the craft deepens, the brand evolves, and the audience gets a window into a lifelong relationship with the work. What many people don't realize is how this one ties into a broader trend, genre recognition crossing into mainstream prestige. Weapons' memeability didn't disqualify it, in fact, it may have accelerated its cultural relevance. The intersection of horror and Oscar acclaim signals that audiences value memorable characters, even if the film lands outside the traditional award season darling box. This raises a deeper question about what the Academy rewards: is it technical prowess, emotional resonance, cultural impact, or a combination that shifts with the times? My take: it's a shifting blend, and Madigan's win embodies that blend in a tangible way. From a broader perspective, the fact that Madigan and her husband Ed Harris have a history with the Academy, specifically the notable moment in 1999 when they didn't applaud Elia Kazan's honorary Oscar, adds a layer of narrative texture. It's not just about an individual victory, it's about a shared arc in a couple's career inside the politics and theater of Hollywood. That backstory matters because it affects how audiences interpret this win. Is it redemption, closure, or simply a new chapter in a long-running collaboration? The nuance here is that personal history can color public perception of merit, even when the objective criteria are clear-cut. Deeper insight: this moment sits at the crossroads of two trends. 1. The rise of microphenomenology in film, small, unforgettable moments that resonate online and in award circles alike. Aunt Gladys' image, glasses, makeup, a single iconic frame, becomes emblematic of how a character can outlive the film itself. 2. The shifting role of persistence. 40 years between nominations doesn't just underline Madigan's resilience, it reframes success as a long arc rather than a single peak. In a media world obsessed with instant gratification, this feels almost countercultural, a reminder that craft compounds over time when you stay connected to the work and the audience. Closing thought: what does this one mean for the blueprint of Oscar success? I'd argue it suggests a future where performance longevity, genre versatility, and cultural resonance converge. If you're an actor or a fan, there's a takeaway here: you don't have to be the flashiest newcomer to leave a lasting mark. You can evolve, reappear, and still land that career-defining moment decades later. So I'm curious, do you think the Academy will continue honoring genre performances in top-tier ways, or was this a one-off alignment of timing, material, and sentiment? Share your thoughts in the comments, and tell me which performance from the last decade you think will be remembered in 20 years not for its polish, but for its enduring influence on the culture around it.